Hello, greetings from Walicka near Krakow in Poland once again. As usual, I'm turning the music down before I continue. Just hopefully a fairly quick one. I haven't been here for a while, I don't think, but during the last few weeks I have had a few new releases here. And I thought I should at least mention those. The first one, Reverse Image, the second album from this Malaysian artist, this time doing instrumental pieces which are of a, I always say, grizzled or frazzled ambient nature. There's even hints of noise in there as well at certain points, but not too much, quite subtly sewn in. But that's the second album from Reverse Image, Towards the Nocturnal Sun. It's received quite good reviews as well. And this arrived several weeks back, but I'm still in the throes of getting these out to various people, including my main distributor in London, who were also waiting for the Michael Cashmore CD, which has just landed today, which is another reason why I'm here now. So this, I'm not going to open it. The cover artwork is really nice though, all done by the artist herself. Fantastic. 9 pieces. I did have to check. It's been a while since I listened to this actually, but 9 tracks, as I said, instrumental, dynamic, ambient music. There's a dynamism there. There's banks of sound, a nice merging of analog and digital, and I think this is a really triumphant album. It's really good. Very pleased to be involved in some way with this, not with the music, but with the helping to get it out there. So that's the first thing. And I'll talk about deals and whatever after mentioning the releases themselves. So that's the first one. The second one, which has been a long time coming, I'll have to show the back cover because that's the best clue. Final, the double LP version of the album that I did in late 2022, I Am the Dirt Under Your Fingernails. Fantastic collection of works, again, instrumental pieces by Justin K. Broderick of Godflesh and various other projects. And Final, I think, is, I would say, beautiful music, but I know certain people might not see it in the same way. It's not warm, not in a direct way anyway. It's still inspired perhaps by Final's earnest beginnings with power electronics, although it isn't a power electronics album. There's still an element of that power, or again that kind of dynamism and intensity in this work, although again it's kind of more ambient but very different to that kind of it. This is, although it's called Towards the Nocturnal Sun, it is quite beautiful, mostly, although not there's a hint of ugliness in there as well. This is, I would say, heavier on the ugly side, with hints of beauty. So the exact opposite in many ways. But that's not a slight of the music. It's fantastic. Um, Anybody who's interested in kind of post-industrial ambient music, not death ambient, it's nothing to do with that, because I hate most of that stuff. I'll just turn this down a little more. Um, Nothing like that. It's just, I'm trying to avoid using the word you know, uh, or using any words connected to isolationism. But, many years ago, that would have been where this would have been placed amongst that kind of area of music. Think Thomas Kuhner, that kind of glacial area of ambient work. Yeah, but again, some nice touches in there as well. Really nice set, double album. Not going to open it. I can't find my personal copy, but it's not a gatefold sleeve. There's nothing to see inside except the black inner bags and the records themselves. But yeah, once again, featuring Puppy 38's fantastic artwork or design. Based on Justin's own ideas, but yeah, Puppy had a hand in this, and he's done a good job. I couldn't afford a gatefold, unfortunately, but yeah, very nice. So I'm shipping those still at the moment, and the latest arrival, which arrived this afternoon, so not very long ago. Too late for me to start sending any out. I've already been to the post office today, so I'm certainly not going again. And yeah, it's mid-afternoon now, so and already it's getting dark. Yeah, some people might think I enjoy that, but I don't. I prefer spring and autumn, to be honest. But anyway, enough of that. This is the latest arrival. Michael Cashmore, Until the End of Vibration. I've got a copy playing in the background, but you probably can't hear it. I did hope that I could. Yeah. There you go. Maybe you can hear some of that. It consists of 23 vignettes. This is one of the more intense pieces, if you can hear it. I'll turn it down though, because it's very distracting. While I do this, at least. Yeah, and this has been a while coming as well. I was going the wrong direction. Sorry that you've got the light shining on that, but that's on Lumberton Trading Company. The other two releases are on Fourth Dimension Records, so the sister label. Michael Cashmore, Until the End of Vibration, and I'll even this is the copy that houses the CD that's in the player at the moment. So there we are. Very nice album. I've started packing some up, ready to go out tomorrow. And to that end, today I had 2 people write to me, not many, simply asking where one was about the Michael Cashmore CD, and another one was about the final album, and where's my copy? That eternally annoying question for me. Every time I'm answering one of those emails, I think I could have packed another order. Anyway, be that as it may, I am in the throes of sending out both the final double LP and now the Michael Cashmore CD. The reverse image CD orders, of which I didn't get many direct orders, unfortunately. I don't know why, but that will bring me on to the main, or one of the main points of doing this upload shortly. I'm in the throes of doing the Michael Cashmore. I'm sending out the Michael Cashmore now, and it will take me probably until sometime mid to late next week. And the final double LP, I was away in England for 1 week. The final double LPs arrived a few days before I went to England. I went on a Wednesday the 13th of November, for a whole week. I returned home very late evening last Wednesday, the 20th. The 20th of November, I should add. And so obviously I couldn't do anything while I was in England. And I sent out a few copies of the final double LP prior to my trip. But now I'm back to it. And as usual, as I always say, it's a one-person operation. It's just me doing this. I also have work, as in, a kind of day job, teaching English, proofreading sometimes as well. And I've got a family, and other such commitments. I'm also still trying to finish this bloody grim humour book, which is taking forever. I thought I'd have it done in February, but, the label's just kind of spiraled, beyond my capacity, I should say. So, base communion, in May, kept me going till about August. So that's the CD, and now I've got a double LP version coming in a couple of weeks. Anyway, it's been full on this year. I've got a knit mott book in the wings as well. That should have happened. There's no way I can do all of this. It's only me, and it's only me going to the post office. That's what I wanted to say. Only myself packing orders in between work stints, family commitments, blah blah blah, other crap that I have to do, and I pack as many orders as I can, and that's the packing gesticulation, the international sign of packing. So and I do as many as I can in between work and everything else, and I then go to the post office daily. The post office local to me is not open on Saturdays or Sundays. There are some 24, I think there are at least 2 24-hour places in Krakow, but I don't live in Krakow anymore. And even if I did, you can get from one part of Krakow to the centre, where one of the post offices are that I mentioned, one of the 24-hour ones. It could take 45 minutes to an hour. So fuck that. I'm not doing that. And where I live now would also be 45 minutes away. So no, I depend on my local post office and depend on whatever I can do in between all of my fucking commitments. So bear with me, and please, if you can, just be patient. Don't hassle me. The only emails I really want, and I don't want fucking demos either. Fucking hell, I had shitloads of them the last few days. Fuck off. Don't want your fucking demos. I know how this sounds. It sounds arrogant, but I know who I want to work with, and I've been I've been at this for a fucking long time. So I know who I want to work with. I've got connections. Now and again, I'll listen to an unsolicited demo, but very rarely. And then the chances of it actually impressing me in any way are very remote. So, it really is a case of don't call me, I'll call you. So there we are. And yes, there are artists, that I work closely with who might have ideas and suggest these ideas to me, and I'm happy to work with them again. So there is a kind of close-knit community, but without the community aspect. They don't all know each other. But yeah, there's a close-knit circle of artists that I'm always happy to work with. Gary Mundy, Cashmore, Of course, Richard Young's, yes, and he's got an album coming next year. Shitloads of bloody views on YouTube. I've had 3 pre-orders, so that's going to bring me up to my rant in a minute. And there's probably one reason why I'm effing and blinding all over the place. I don't know what's happened, but maybe it's just the world I operate in, music. I understand we're in really shit times at the moment economically. A lot of people don't have spare money for, stupid releases on underground labels and whatever, but things are really shit at the moment. So I'm going to, at some point over the next day or two, do a couple of really decent deals in the shop. One will be dedicated to vinyl and one will be dedicated to CDs. You can combine them if you want, but they're going to be really cheap. And I'm just going to list everything that I've still got huge quantities of, and you can choose 4 titles, 4 CD titles in one of the deals for a really low price. It might even be £22 or something. I don't, for 4 CDs, with maybe £24-25 with shipping included, but with international shipping included, 4 CDs and maybe 2 or 3 vinyl releases for a really low price as well. I haven't decided on how low that will be at the moment, but I really need to raise money urgently at the moment. As I said, orders, I usually get orders regularly, daily, but they're nothing like they used to be. And I know Christmas is, it's already in the fucking air. So I realise people only have a certain amount of money for all these bloody things, but support welcome, basically. And yes, there will be a couple of new deals in the shop that I'll be pushing to help. I don't want to say how much I want to raise, but I need to raise, not exactly, but I need to raise 4 figures within the next week, really. So the nearer I can get to the 4-figure target that I'm after will be, the nearer I can get to that, the better, really. So, and all orders in the meantime thoroughly appreciated, and I'm going to do my best to encourage more. I think 4 CDs for £22, £24 with shipping will be a bargain. If I can get 20 such orders, that will be a help. It'll be a step in the right direction. Anyway, ideally 30 or 40 orders. But yeah, there's a lull at the moment. That's basically it. It's not good. My labels are suffering. People probably think I'm rolling in fucking money or something. I'm not. So everything is a struggle here, and I always bite off more than I can chew. I always have done, probably because I'm not good at saying no to anybody, especially when it's an artist again that I like working with or whatever. I'm not good at that, but plus I'm trying to keep the label active, which means bringing out new releases and whatever. I'm trying to maintain a certain profile, but it comes with a price, and at the moment the price is a little too high. That's all I'll say. So yeah, orders appreciated. I'll just do a link to the shop below. I'm not going to link every new release individually, but I will do a basic link to the shop, where you can again get a copy of that, order this if interested, and there's plenty of other stuff in there. The Richard Young's pre-order is up and running as well, and the compilation double album which I'm also getting many inquiries about, and I do apologise for the delay. But the base communion double LP that's happening very soon, within the next 2 or 3 weeks, is it had to take, for reasons I'm not going to bore you with, it had to um, usurp all my other plans, and it's boring industry reasons or biz reasons behind that. But I had to do that. It had to jump the queue, and because of that, it's kind of upset everything else I wanted to do. But the double um, LP compilation, When Worlds Collide, will be the next thing on the agenda in the new year. And I think I need to amend the artwork so it's got 2025 on. Apologies to everybody in the meantime waiting for this. I mean, next to the final double LP, which took over a year to materialise, it won't seem quite as bad. But that doesn't help anybody who's waiting. And again, I apologise. Otherwise, while I was in England last week, I received a few things. I received well, I was given a copy of this, the Apostles double LP, which I've not even had a chance to play or even look at properly yet. There can be no spectators, so I couldn't even remember the bloody title. This was handed to me by Chris Lowe, who I gather collected all the tracks for this and had a very big hand in this. And I think that's his. Is that his signature? I think he signed it as well. This little insert. Anyway, Apostles had that given to me in London, and I also got this from Steve Pittis, my good buddy at Dirty Promotions, who's also in Splintered. And yeah, Uncle God's Pag Banquet on Dirty Promotions. It's got Stephen Stapleton, Andrew Lyles, a cast of others on there, and it's basically a double CD with an LP in there that's etched on both sides with Stephen Stapleton artwork. So it looks fantastic. I think there's a quote inside the sleeve. I don't want to get it out, from Stephen Stapleton saying, "That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard." I imagine it's in response to Steve having spoken to him on the phone to moot the idea of this this package. Maybe I'm wrong, but the thing is, in relation to this, it's good as well. If you like Band of Pain, you will like this. I'm always going the wrong way. You will like this, absolutely. Then, yeah, in relation to that, sorry, I lost my train of thought. In relation to that, people have asked me about doing more interviews, or not interviews, chats on this channel, and time is always against it. Although I'd love to do more. I would love to have more guests, not necessarily people that I've worked with. I would love to have more people involved, just casual talks about new releases or even past releases. But time again is really against me at the moment. Sort of spare time. Don't have a lot of time for doing that. But Steve Pittis has agreed to doing the next one, and he's an old friend. I said we need to focus on Band of Pain more rather than Dirter or Splintered. But we might, I'm sure, knowing us, we'll go off at tangents. Maybe we'll even have to have a beer each, because when I meet Steve, there's usually beer involved, and sometimes there's just a coffee, but there's usually beer. So maybe we'll, that will help grease the wheels. We'll see. But anyway, Steve Pittis, regardless of what's involved, is the next guest on the channel, and I hope we can do that sooner rather than later. And I think I've said everything really. Um, yeah, plenty of new releases upcoming. When Worlds Collide delayed. Grim Humour Book 3 delayed. Nip Mott book delayed. There's another book happening next year as well, maybe even two if Alan Ryder ever finishes his Third Mind, Gary Livermore book. But otherwise, yeah, delayed. So it's like looking at the notice board in a train station, like Waterloo or somewhere in London. Delayed, delayed, delayed. So, or even flights. So, anyway, the announcement board. Um, I, Lots of releases and books are delayed, but they are happening. Just bear with me. It's just me. It's just me with Puppy 38, Sean Organ, and Alan Ryder, and Steve Pittis in the wings. Am I overlooking anybody? I don't think so. Yeah, a few people, a few friends in the wings, doing whatever they can to help me whenever possible. Even people like Gary Mundy help in the sense that they buy old stock of their releases and whatever. So, you know, um, but yeah, it's essentially me at the coalface. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. Thanks for listening, watching. Support the label. Thanks. Plenty of other labels in the same boat. But right now, I need to focus on Fourth Dimension and its sisters, Lumberton Trading Company and Winter Hill Recordings. We need, right now, we need a life support mechanism. So, and I say we, myself and the labels, So, anyway, I'll stop rambling. Thanks again, and I'll be back here sooner rather than later, probably in a couple of weeks. Cheers. Bye. Back to the Yorkshire tea. Thanks, Justin Mitchell. And I'm into that big box you sent. Cheers.